I'm Steel Walrus, and you're awesome. Thanks for watching. Anyhow, today we are going to be taking a look at the ship designer for Galactic Civilization 3. First off, to utilize it, you have to start a new game. I mean, you can just start a little bullcrap, tiny game with, just tiny little map. And then all you have to do is have cheat codes enabled. You go into the properties in Steam, and you type cheat into the startup instructions or whatever it's called under general, and then after that you just hit the little squiggly, the tilde key, and you type in unlock, and it unlocks all the techs for your tech tree forever. So you have all the options you need to actually design ships to their fullest with all the different cool little things. Now anyhow, one thing I gotta say about the ship designer for this game is it is incredibly powerful as a tool if you use it correctly. I mean, people can use all sorts of crazy different things. Let's go ahead and go with new design here. We're gonna try and maybe test the limits a little bit. Now, we could go with a huge ship and be like that, because that's pretty cool. This is actually vanilla, but if you really look at it, they've done quite a bit with just like one or two parts, and that's fairly impressive. Like, I mean, yeah. Anyway, you've got other ships here. Some take more work than others. Actually, some of the huge ships don't even take all that many parts, but they look really cool because of the way that they've been put together. What we're going to do is we're going to build from the ground up, because we are probably not entirely sane. And it's actually really easy. I can't remember exactly how to do it. Show parts from other cells, go down to options, and bam. So you'll have not just, say, the Altarian, but you'll also have the Drangan and the Iconian and all that good stuff. Let's go with something. Hold on, I gotta reset that because I got it all screwed around. Let's go with something new and exciting. We'll go with a huge ship, because why not make a huge ship? Or perhaps let's go with a medium ship, just a nice cruiser-sized vessel will do. Let's see here. Iconians? Nah, let's go with Iridium. That looks pretty cool. So that's sort of our base part there. We clip it on to the little square in the beginning. And it's there, and it's ready to go. Now let's just sort of repeat that a few times, shall we? You got to go down here, this little bar here, and select it. Now you can offset it to, either side if you wanted to. You can use your mouse wheel to get more of a fine tuning with it, which is awesome. The y-axis is going to bring it up or down, and the z-axis is going to bring it forward. Now keep in mind, going lower on the z-axis is what's going to bring it forward. Higher is going to pull it back. Let's keep it in contact. And then we'll bring it down just a touch. Got to hit the right button to make it sort of fit in there. Now, from there, what we can do, now we can just scale it as one big thing if we really want. 100's generally the regular size for it. However, if we turn off proportional scaling down here, you can actually make it bigger on a side, like that. You can, let's see here, let me get that back to about 100. You can make it bigger up and down, bring it back down to 100. You can even make it smaller, but not by a whole lot. And you can make it longer. So, you can make it like ridiculously long if you so desire. That's a little over the top, but we are going to keep it a little bit long. Not too much, however. And we're going to offset it further back. That way it doesn't prod out. And the lines kind of stay as one, so we're going to scale it outward just a touch, maybe? No. Well, Again, by no means an expert, but there you go. So we have sort of a basic ship, yeah. A basic shape, though. That's what I was going for, coming along. Let's sort of change it up and give it another little thing to kind of keep it lively, as it were. Let's move that. No, we don't want to move it left and right. We want to move it forward a touch, don't we? Actually, let's scale this inwards a touch. That way it's not really poking through that much. Or we could roll with the poke through, bring that up, and bam! It's actually kind of cool looking that it's got those sort of conflicting slopes to it. Sort of breaks up the lines of the ship a little bit. And then you can actually do it again, sort of, down here. Now what we want to do is scale that to where it's big sideways, maybe, but not that big necessarily. Maybe thin it a little bit. We're going to bring it upwards, and I keep clicking the wrong button. We're going to bring it upwards to where it kind of contacts in with that. Maybe scale this a little bit larger here. Actually, let's keep that a little bit bigger than vanilla. We're going to offset it forward, so we're going to drag it backwards. That looks pretty cool. It's fairly compact looking. Now let's bring some interesting curviness to it, or maybe something like that. But we want to flip this. So we're going to flip it back this way. We want it mirrored on each side. Bam! Now, if you want to, we can offset it. Bring it down just a touch so it kind of looks like it's supposed to be there. We're going to rotate it slightly outwards, like that. So you have this rotate button here. Now we haven't even gotten to the fun stuff. Alright, this is just basic, simple, regular old stuff. What's these lights do? Let's pop one right here in the nose bits, or some such. They don't really do much anything, so we're gonna go ahead and get rid of that. You can even put like little pirate emblems on there if you want. Let's do that. But we're gonna use the rotate button to actually turn it to 90 degrees. We're gonna use our scaling button, or scaling slider, to make it smaller. And we're going to, actually we're going to rotate it this way a touch, so it's more in line with the hull of the ship. We're going to offset it upwards. We're going to offset it sideways a bit. And now, we have a logo on the side of our vessel. And we can mirror it if we so choose. And there we go. May not lay perfectly, but we can fix that with rotation. There we go. So we got our pirate stuff. Now let's add some spinning bits. Sounds pretty fun, right? I think it does. So we're just gonna rotate. Gonna rotate this a little, where it's going forward, or in reverse rather. And then we're gonna decide that that's too short. Like all the women before me. Never mind, we'll not talk about that. Let's see here. Let's find a good thing to make a spinny thing on, shall we? Okay. That looks... No, that's not very spinny. You like a good round thing to use. There we go. A couple of these weird pole things should do. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to bring them towards the center, because I want it to be along the center line of the ship. Well, all I have to do there, sort of cancel out the mirroring. Is that. And then, in a flash of gloriousness, we're gonna use this. We're gonna rotate it. And then, actually, hold on. I don't think that's gonna work out very well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use one of these poles, but there we go. We're gonna have it sticking kind of out of the spine of the ship instead. We'll offset it downwards a touch, and we're going to. What are we gonna do? We're gonna add this here on the end, or better yet. I actually really like that. I think I want to use that. See if we can get the proper bits to use. Okay, so we're going to have to rotate this around a little bit. And offset it slightly, where it is center aligned with the ship. And also center align with the beam. We're going to move it forward so it's actually sitting on there. Then, to further delve into our madness, we're going to take a couple of these beams. We're going to let's see here. Gonna do that. Gonna do that. But that's not gonna work because of the way because of the way this seems to want to function. Alright, so let's scale these down slightly. Okay, that's 38. Want that around 38 as well. In fact, we want all of these to be the same size, just so it looks right. Now, let the fun begin. Put those out 90 degrees. This one out 90 degrees. This one 90 degrees. Ba-bam! So here we have a nice little spinning section here. Let's see if we can go. We go over here to animation. Alright, so that one's a little bit messed up. Let's just delete it. So now these are working perfectly fine. We're gonna add that didn't work out properly. So you got these working perfectly fine now. You can do more things with them. Not sure what that does. I think that means if it's connected to... Yeah, okay. As it rotates on the hard point as opposed to in relation to itself. So yeah, there you go. And let's just put some weird stuff on there, like our stellar folding or what have you. And actually gonna mirror it. That didn't work. Okay, so there you go. More stellar folding. And then we'll put some weapons on there. Put some doom rays. Yay, doom rays. Everybody likes a doom ray. And now we have our completely ridiculous ship. Let's see here. But, and then you go over to the equip thing and you add what you need to it. Like your stasis field generators are going to increase your range, which is right here. Sort of how far your ships can go outside of your space. You've got all sorts of other crazy stuff here. Increases your accuracy. A bunch of different weapons and stuff. If we want some singularity drivers, we can just jam them on there. And the cool thing with this is you can make practically anything you can imagine if you just have the patience and wherewithal to do it. Which is generally the big sticking point. I mean, it's crazy, but it's awesome. It's one of my favorite things about the game, and it seems to be the one thing I get a lot of feedback on is, you know, I want to see more of that. You know, it's such a cool, in-depth system, and I could screw with this for hours. I have to watch myself on the when I'm recording, like on the stuff. Anyhow, I'm getting a call, so I'm going to cut right here for just a moment. Alright guys, sorry about that. It seems like every time I try and record, I get interrupted. And it's getting kind of old. I just realized I was trying to stick a part to the ship that doesn't have any space to go, so merp. Anywho, but you can just always play around with that, see what you can do to fix that. One cool thing I noticed, and let's put a nose on this thing. I didn't think about that. It's actually starting to bother me a touch. So we're gonna put this weird little nose on the front. No, that doesn't work. I don't like that. Let's go with something pointy, suitably pointy. Ooh. So we're gonna move that forward too, or sideways because I screwed up. and then we're going to not move it that far forward because we're going to scale it in size. It looks like a face. Doesn't it look like a face, sorta? Like a robot death face? It's actually rotated. Though now that I'm looking at it, that sort of works. Except it needs to be flipped over now. How? Why could I not flip it over? That failed. Fail? Okay. There we go. Now let's offset it back inwards. I'm just screwing up all over the place. Let's bring it back forward. That's pretty nifty, I think. Of course, this is pretty derp-tastic back here, but it's all for demonstration. I actually kind of like that, though. I like the main idea of the ship. So I'm going to save two versions. One of them I'm going to pop onto the workshop if you guys want it. Actually going to go ahead and put both of them on there. Yay, rotation. Save. We're going to go back and we're going to find it. 30 new specialty ships? Oh, these are all the... Oh, yeah, this. I made that earlier when I was derping around. It's kind of based off like the Minbari war cruiser a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. But it sort of ended up really derpy, and it has pretty serious damage. There's a carrier I was working on for one of the other, one of my just basic playthroughs. Where is my most recent design? Size. Cool thing though is you can take, oh there it is. You can actually take ships from them that they've made and sort of work them around, which is pretty awesome in my opinion. We're just gonna start deleting these things except for that thing. And we're gonna cut this down, and I'm gonna make you guys a nice little gunboat, I think. If you would like to use it, it will be on Steam at some point. So there we go. And it's gonna have... we're gonna go ahead and make like a really basic one that's pretty easily achievable early game. So one with an ion drive and say ion thrusters, like so. And you can scale these too. I'm actually going to make it to where you can't see them. That way it doesn't mess with the lines of the ship or anything. We're going to make it a... It's going to have an Illyrium beam on it, because I really like Illyrium beams. They're sort of my thing. But we're also going to give it just regular particle beams as the primary weapons of the vessel. Go ahead and put them on the pointy bits. That's what makes sense to me. And one up here would be good. Let's see, what about deflectors? Again, so it'll be nice and easily attainable early game for you guys. Let's see here. Field environmental support. Then, boom, boom. So it's got a fair amount of moves. It's actually pretty fast at 10 moves a turn. 48 range, that's not so hot, though. So let's kick it up a touch, shall we? Always seems to be one of the more painful parts. Now it's got some good range. 109.3, that's solid. Alright. And any kind of support modules we might be able to pop on there would be cool. Meh. Sorry, I gotta readjust my leg here. Let's pop... Let's say... Well, it's actually kind of weak in the firearm department. So let's go with... another couple of Illyrium beams, just to drive our point home. So it'll be kind of expensive, but I think you guys can manage. And then a couple more particle beams. Because everybody loves a good light show. At least I do. So manufacturing cost is not terrible. Maintenance isn't bad. Hit points pretty solid. For just a fairly straightforward ship. We're going to name it the Steel Walrus Cruiser. Walrus Cruiser. Da-da-da-da! There you go. I will actually pop it on to the Steam Workshop. Well, I think it's up. So I'm not really sure if that worked or not. But I'll double check later. Anyhow, make sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed this and found it helpful. Be sure to subscribe because I'm going to be continuing my Let's Play of Galactic Civilizations 3 because I really enjoy it. I need to get back to it. I've just been playing Black Desert so much. And I will see you guys next time. And like always, I'm Steel Walrus, and you're awesome. Peace out.